Do your kids ever say things that just like freak you out? Because Mason last night thought he was going to sleep in the basement. I knew that was never going to happen, to sleep in the basement by himself. I'm like, no way. He has been sleeping in his room some, which is great, but the basement's creepy. Even if it's finished, even if you're an adult, who wants to sleep in a basement, you know? So that did not last long. I told him good night, and then probably less than 5 minutes later, he was back in the bed with me. But he came up like teary-eyed, and I'm like, bud, what's wrong? And he said, it's just I get nightmares. I'm like, you can't get a nightmare if you're not even sleeping yet. And so then he was like, well, bad thoughts. And I'm like, okay, do you want to talk about it? And he's like, I just hear people like whispering my name. And I'm like, great. And then he's like, outside the door. And I'm like, well, your mind can play tricks on you. You're fine. But then he's like, well, sometimes I hear it in here too. And I'm like, okay. And then he like slept right on my shoulder, and he's like, I don't hear him if I'm sleeping like on somebody. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh, well, that's lovely. Even, when he was 3 and said he saw the dead chef in his closet, I'm like, we have issues in this house. God love us. Anyway, so have your kids ever said weird stuff like that? And then how do you handle it? Are you just like, well, you're fine. Nothing I can do about that. Monsters aren't real. Go to bed. Like, I don't know. He was fine though. He went to sleep shortly after, and he'll forget about it today. And he probably won't try to sleep in the basement again. I don't know. He thinks after his party that a bunch of kids are spending the night. I think I already said this, but he wants all of them to sleep in the basement. So I'm like, with a bunch of friends, and he'll probably make me sleep down there, then I think we'll be okay. But anyway, our day today is to go to the dentist. So not so exciting. I'm gonna have Grandma watch Mason while I run out to the dentist for a little bit, and then that's it. But then I can take some of his birthday party stuff over to her house too, where all the fun is happening. And that's all we have on the agenda. We have a birthday party Saturday too, and then his on Sunday. So we're just kind of letting the days go by until all the party fun happens. But I hope you have a fabulous Friday, and this week has been easy, and you have a fun weekend coming up.